Hello, beautiful people. I have a little bit of a giggle as there is a new facilitation and communication style that is being brought forward for the juiciness of the receiving of the beloved soul family, and a different way of sharing wisdom in which I haven't done before. So I felt the call to jump on and to do something that is channeled and to bring forth some delicious wisdom. And when I tuned in and I was like, okay, so what are we going to talk about? Like, give me a little bit of inspiration. What are we going to chat about? I get the word discipline and I was like, that's not a very exciting topic. And it's funny because I am at a point now where my facilitation style is a little bit different, and I had seen this coming up a while ago, but to pre-frame, I was directed back when I did the keynote speaking to actually do a dialogue of Geeia, me, self, personality, communicating with direct channel of higher guidance, and it's 11:11, and I was like, that actually could be fun, because I don't get to talk from my personality very often. And I often hear people say things like, oh, your human is actually quite funny. Like, you're quite a funny, interactive, I like chatting to you. You're like, there's this playful buoyancy and chattiness, and there's this, what would I call it? Tongue-in-cheek kind of humor that comes out of me. And I don't get to express my human very often, because my human is quirky and often not as intellectually as intelligent as my multi-dimensional expression. But what I was guided to last night was a way that I can be all of it, right? We have this belief that we can't be all the things. We have this belief that we can't have all the things. We have this belief that if I am this, then I'm not that. And I know that this is a big collective theme at the moment. Collectively, we have this thing saying that I'm not committed to that, because if I commit to that, then it means I don't get this. Now, this is not truth. The truth is, when we choose to commit to something and we look at where we believe that we can't have the things, what are our belief systems that are there that are in the way of not having the things? So for me, it's quite interesting to go, oh, okay, I can facilitate with all the things. Let's see how this goes. And I got quite an interesting conversation in my bath last night where I was like, oh, this would have been gold to record. Like, in future, I'm so setting up my tripod, and I'm going to have it right there in the bath for those spontaneous, amazing transmissions that come through, and they're super, super guided and super high level, and yet they're entertaining. And so I've never seen myself as an entertainer. I don't see myself as entertaining. I also don't see myself as funny. And apparently other people don't receive me in the same way that I receive myself, which is not unusual for us as humans. So in the guidance to do this, we are going to go all in without knowing what's to come through. And this is the beautiful thing about channeling, is it's not preconceived by my brain. And so it makes me a little bit uncomfortable, because I'm like, oh, what are you going to say? I don't know what you're going to say, but you want me to talk about it. What are you going to expose within me? What are you going to expose in relation to consciousness, humanity, the greater good? And there's always this little bit of discomfort when I go on live in a channel, because I'm like, if I'm channeling properly, I have no idea what's going to be spoken. And so I can feel this hesitations here. It's like, all right, we're talking about discipline, so let's talk about discipline. You can already feel the energies coming up in the desire to talk about discipline. So, KIOTIS, what about discipline would you like to share on this on this live video? And let's allow you to speak. What we would like to express with you, and all of the ones that are tuning into this, is to really point out the discomfort that is in Geeia's body, as well as her mind, in relation to how she's going to be perceived. And the perception of her reality is far different to what is going to be exposed in the receivership of this communication style. She has created a narrative that has her in the perception that people will not receive her wisdom based on the way she is sharing her wisdom. And in that, she is creating a self-perpetuating narrative that is closing down her free form of expression. But what we would like to invite you into recognizing is that when you have a discipline and a devotionary commitment to self, that the disciplinary actions are actually self-serving in an act of self-love. There is no disciplinary punishments that will that will cause for separation within self or other if you're allowing yourself to be disciplined in your connection to source. So any way that you are communicating in a form of discipline is an act of love and an act of connection, which is received even without the fullness of understanding its receivership, by gifting it through the fullest expression of who you are. So what is interesting is I can witness this coming through me, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense, right? It's like, yeah, I have this discomfort. I don't specifically want to expose myself flapping my hands around and talking a slightly different vibrational frequency of my voice. There is this like a little bit of clunkiness that comes in when I channel the message, because I'm like, I don't know what you're like. Well, one, there's a little bit of judgment that comes up of what if I interpret the message wrong, and then it's also this part of seeing them call me out on social media, that I have this fear of being in the full disciplinary action of my truth, which is loving myself. This like part of me is, I haven't been loving myself in real actual fact. And that's uncomfortable, is that I say that I'm disciplined, but I'm not really disciplined because I haven't allowed myself to go, oh, I am a channel. Oh, I do light language as a regular way of expressing myself. Oh, I do make funny noises, and I do move my body a lot, and I do tend to be quite extra, and that is my fullest expression. And I have suppressed that to fit into this. And I'm also super zen, right? I can be all these things. I can be anything that is alive in my body at that time. But there is a suppression of, oh, my channel is not me, or this light language is not me. But it is me. It's a different expression of me. And instead of having the discipline of myself to go, oh yeah, actually, I'm just going to be all of that. I'm going to be all of myself in my facilitation, in my holding space for others. And when I express this, it's like all of myself, being so disciplined to love all of myself, that I can also be a level of love, sensuality, sexuality, and all expressions of truth, sound, movement, for the full connection of self, but then also offering an invitation for the full connection of another. Apparently they have something else that they would like to share. And I can tell this is going to be quite a comedic expression. You're delaying the communication that we have by using your humor to avoid the discomfort within your body of expressing what we would like to actually express. There is an awareness that as a collective whole, currently you are all experiencing discord in self-expression. There is a throat chakra activation that is taking place that is allowing the fullness of expression, not in just the vocabulary of the words that you are speaking, but also in the way that you are bringing forth your body and your mind and your thought forms. How are you expressing your truth? Or how are you not connecting to the fullness of who you are? And collectively, this is collectively, this is taking place on a mass scale for you to recognize how often you are not honoring of self. You are not honoring of your mind, body, and soul components as a whole, as the Holy Trinity that you are, as the fullness that you are. You honor parts of self, rationalized in spirituality and false narratives, and that is not allowing you to activate and expand and ascend past this point in your evolution, because you're not willing to look at the whole expression of what is available inside of you and how you can move through the blocks that are stopping and preventing you from being in the fullest momentum of your capability in physical form. So I'm going to explain it. This is how I'm going to explain what they just said, in case for anyone who didn't receive that message through their cognitive mind. The amazing thing is that with a channeled message, you can receive the vibrational frequency, you can feel the truth of it, you can resonate at it, and it's going to activate you into things. And you may not fully understand a channeled message, and you may not understand high levels of consciousness from the cognitive mind, because your mind gets a bit glitchy. But then what happens is, in this way, I get to then use my human to communicate to you at a human level what was being spoken about. So collectively, we've got a throat chakra activation. So there's so many people that are getting sick. Me too, also. I don't say sick. Sick is not real. But the activation that's taking place in my throat is because there's been a suppression of my expression. Now, what they were expressing is that the Holy Trinity, so the Holy Trinity is the triangle. Some people may see it differently depending on religious programming and belief systems and different stuff. But the Holy Trinity is your mind, body, and soul. It is what we have to look at in the full conception of all of our beliefs, all of our sum of experiences, and all of our energetics. So we can't just work in our mind's consciousness. We can't just be in that entrepreneurial stage where we look at where our expressions are being suppressed based on our thought forms. We also have to go into the somatics of the body, where the body is not expressing itself, or where the body's shut down, where we've shut down our chi, where we've shut down our sex, where we've shut down our physical movement or expression, where we have injury. All of those things are the parts of the somatics that are going to cause you to have a discord. And then you have the soul component, and as many that's your sum of experiences of reincarnation or future timelines that have an effect on your now moment, belief systems or promises or contracts or traumas that are stored in the unseen, right? The unknown, because it's not in the here and the now. So when we look at what that message was saying, it was saying that we are collectively being asked to look at the Holy Trinity, so the mind, body, and soul, and where am I not being the fullest, truest expression of myself? Not me trying to be like someone else. So in the photo shoot that I did the other day, the girl that was with me went into some contraction because instead of being herself, she was like comparing herself to me. She was trying to be model-like and posy, and I just kept saying the same thing. I'm like, photography is embodiment. That's all it is. Photography is you being in all of your expression. In your mind, you have to believe in yourself. You have to feel yourself. You have to allow yourself. And then you've got the somatic side of things, so the movement, the feeling, what is the energy in my body, and your soul's expression. And if you're not able to connect all of those parts, then there's going to be a disconnect to the way that you're expressing yourself in your reality. And apparently there's more. Brace yourself, guys. I can feel it really strongly in my heart. So what if you got to say KIOTIS around the heart? What is here? What's alive? What are we sharing? There's an uncertainty that is within the collective energy that is bringing in hesitation on living from the heart space and in flow with the loving connection of your truth. Currently, uncertainty and pausing in stagnation based on different belief systems, fears, and distortions within future timelines are surfacing for the relevant self-awareness to shift the stagnant energy and to allow the blindfold to be taken off in relation to where you are going. That's what we have to say? Okay. Right. So it looks like we're doing nice little unpacks here. I love this. This is like actually super funny for me because I don't often get to be all of myself in these spaces and places, and I'm super curious to see how I'm received in this level of wisdom, quirkiness, and play, because these journeys are meant to be playful. Yes, the human experience is meant to be fun. Chakra. And we get so stuck in the mud that we forget to have fun and we forget to play. And so it's like when you see your shit, laugh at your shit, laugh at your demons, giggle at where you've been manipulative, love where you've been manipulative because it served you. Now, what do they say? My brain has completely missed. What part of that message did I not want to receive? Oh, heart. Okay. So the collective heart piece that's coming up at the moment was around the... I've forgotten. I feel like you're going to have to answer that in a more simplistic human term then, please, KIOTIS, because apparently I tweaked out and didn't want to receive that message myself. Can you please give this message to me in a more gentle, kind reminder? That would be amazing. The cognitive mind likes to shut down when there is key pieces for an individual to receive, and sometimes when you disassociate or blank out when someone is speaking to you, you are in a process internally. You may send yourself off to sleep, or you may disassociate from your body as a protective mechanism from seeing a deep core wounding that is ready to surface, and an activation that can take place that allows you to witness a part within yourself that, if you are willing to witness and stay focused in discipline, that you would be easily moving through these parts that are ready to be reconciled and returned into the wholeness of that which you already are, and to see the entire spectrum of the belief that is creating the disassociation and the suffering in the first place. If you allow yourself to witness when you have gone into a place of disconnect and ask for more ease of receiving, then you will be able to witness where your mind starts to close off and consciously redirect it into the same place, and ask to clear the resistance from your mind into remembering. If you sit with yourself for long enough, you are able to move through the fog and witness what's behind the fog, which will give you the expansion and the connection to what is really there to be shown. Alright, so let's put this one into practice, shall we? Shit with myself. The message before. What did I not want to receive about the message before? The words I get are living in the receivership of the heart's flow. Now, from what I can recall of that message, it was that collectively we are being guided to choose from the heart's expression of life and living life from the heart rather than there's a lot coming up around savior, rescuer, knight, victim, right? So you've always got these polarities that are always playing out. So you've got, say, if I'm in the rescuer with the victim and if I'm in the rescuer and the savior and I'm the hero, then I'm going to be attracting people that want to stay in their damsel, their victim, and their wounded child. That's just how it works. So depending on what role I'm taking, someone else is going to show up and be like, yeah, I'll be this for you. And then you can see yourself. And we have this opportunity in this moment to actually see ourselves. And so what's here in this heart piece of like, how do I want to live my life from my heart? What brings me joy is there for anyone who is self-sacrificing. So if you're self-sacrificing at the moment there, or always have, and you have this savior, rescuer, knight in shining armor energy, there is going to be a self-sacrificing piece that comes up, and there's a calling back of, actually, I am in service, and I love being in service, and I love being here to guide love and to be a messenger and to heal and to help people see a new way. But I also need to receive full service for myself. Like, what am I creating in the world? Am I creating it because I actually want to create it for myself to experience? Or am I creating it because I feel this experience would be amazing for someone else? Or to receive love, or to get validation, or to be witnessed, or to be seen, or to be heard. So it's like, what am I trying to get outside of myself? Acknowledgement. Support. And what is it that I'm seeking in my outside experience, that if I was willing to look at the fact that I'm seeking it in unhealthy, unconscious ways that are not self-serving for me or for others, and are not of a full holistic experience, because there's a lot of distortion that is playing out, then I can go, oh, so I'm really looking for support. I'm really looking for community and connection. And what would be really loving for me to receive community and connection? Like, what experiences do I want to create that are from my heart's desires and not from my mind trying to rationalize it? Because the mind will go, oh yeah, okay, so you want community and connection, we'll just go and we'll go hang out in community, or we'll go to a dance thing, or we'll go and do this art show, or I'll jump on Tinder and I'll get community and connection. Now, what happens if you are really willing to come into, what does my heart want? Like, what is my heart's desire to receive? What if I let my heart speak to me and show me what I've been unwilling to see, which is why I continue to seek outside of myself to receive this fullness of short-term validation that doesn't allow me to have sustainability in self or in my experience, and it creates these short bursts of fulfillment. So if I tune in now and I invite you, let's do it together. I invite you to come into your heart at this point and go, okay, what is my heart's desire in this moment? What is my heart's desire in this moment? Not from here. So we're going in and we're If you need to touch, you need to press some pressure on your heart. Go in and ask your heart, what is my heart's desire in this moment? And my heart tells me to open to the fullness of who I am. And there is a desire to be able to receive the medicine and the guidance and the facilitation that I provide for others to meet myself in all of the yumminess I create for others, even to the point of creating sensual, sexual, self-pleasure ceremony for myself, so that I can facilitate myself through my connection with the divine and be guided through a journey that is for me, for my body, for my consciousness, for my expression of being. And this is the guiding star of, okay, well, what is for me, and then how can I gift this remembrance to others, that we are choosing life for ourselves, but we're also choosing life for the collective as well. There's not one before the other. There is not me and then you, and there's not you and then me. It's you and me together. What is you and me together? If I meet myself in this, right? If I was to really allow my channel to facilitate me in a journey for myself, then I know that what I would receive would be so profound, because I've allowed the space to connect in such a deep connection that I would have so much more to nourish and offer outside of myself. The same as this bath process that brought me to this place of, oh, okay, so we're facilitating like this now. All right, this part of me gets to be the quirky comedian, unique, what's the word? I would say, I want to use the word vivacious. Is that a word? Yeah, I think so. Download the dictionary, please. So there is this like awareness of the heart space. So I feel like I expressed that message quite well. Hopefully I got it out there for you, KIOTIS, in a more human, comprehensive idea of how that was received. Do you guys have anything else you would like to share? Of course you do. Of course you do. Not getting out of it that quickly. Alright. What would you like to continue to share with the people that are on this call? We have an intention to open your consciousness and your mind to a new way of experiencing yourself, in a way that you have yet to fully acknowledge, because you have been closing your eyes to seeing yourself in the fullness of the capacity of who you are and what you are capable of. In this transmission and comedy routine, we are providing a different perspective of how you can show up in the world, with more permission to choose yourself and to allow yourself to be unique in what it is that brings joy to your heart, and to how you can be of a unique contribution to yourself and to the people that are in your direct vicinity. The more that you open your receivability to yourself, the more that you open to allowing yourself to receive that which you truly desire. And even if that is not received at a cognitive level of knowing what it is you desire, the more that you choose the fullness of your expression of receiving yourself, you're able to receive this information. This is an activation into seeing yourself in a new lens, as you witness someone else who is seeing themselves in a new lens. We'll just do a little happy dance to that one. I think this is gonna be super fun. Like, I'm pretty keen to do this a little bit more because I am receiving myself in a new way. I'm allowing myself permission to show up in all aspects of myself, in the deep wisdom, in the deep embodiment, in the play, in the receiving of bringing more awareness to myself whilst bringing more awareness to you. And that's what it's about, right? There's no disconnect, there's no separation. And so the intention of that message was, all right, we'll show you the different capacities of being that are possible. How much of myself is available to activate in this moment that I haven't been willing to activate, and why? You know, what is your story? What's your narrative as to why you... Oh, look, that's pretty clever. What is your story and your narrative as to why you don't feel that you can be all that you are, that you can open to receiving yourself in a fuller expression? And journal it. It's like, put it up there and put all the positive things, right? This is, put all the reasons why you love not being all of yourself, why you get off on it, why you're like, yeah, I love limiting myself because I don't have to do the uncomfortable things. I don't have to say things where possibly I might get into conflict. It's like, what is there in the I love not being all of me. I love not expressing all of me. I love this. What is that story? And then how does it limit me? How am I not all of me? And how is that actually really causing fuckery in my life experience because I'm not connecting with the right tribe. I'm not connecting to my business. I'm not connecting to my purpose. I'm not experiencing the level of expansion play that I would like to or desire to. And allow yourself to bring the zoomed out vision of the light and the dark to be looked at in clarity and go, oh yeah, now I can see that story. I can see it in all of it. Do I actually want to hold on to that anymore? Or do I want to consciously choose to let it go? Because yeah, it served me, but I'm willing to move past those pieces now so that I can be all of me and I can bring more of what I truly desire into my life. So it's nice to know that they've got nothing else that they want to say because I'm ready to check out. Thank you for tuning in to this very unique, playful, and hopefully very expansive transmission. I would absolutely love to hear the feedback of how you enjoyed this and what came up for you in relation to the other ways that I've been showing up in the world. If you want more of this, I don't know whether you get a choice. You might want to unfollow because I think this is the new way. But what came up for you in relation to this, and what triggered you? Yeah, show me what triggered you. I love getting off on people's triggers. I'm like, oh yeah, I've got that one too. If we share these triggers, and you're not alone in your triggers. So what triggered you about this message? What inspired you about this message? And what was your feedback of how you received it? All right, have an amazing day. Geeia Ariati and Andia Kiara Hotokoyata Eshekeya Tayatiatia Atianaya Tukoriana Andia Kian Shandia Korianaya Kia Shatakeria Taya Tukoriana. It's very hard to do light language with a block nose.